Wisdom Jill's radio show. How are we, Wisdom? You know, I thought hop on here and do a bit of late night radio show and talking about gratitude tonight. I want to know if there's anyone who is practicing gratitude out there. And I mean gratitude as in being thankful for what you already have, and basically, what you can appreciate that you have already. Have we as a society become a materialistic world where we want more than we already have? Do you believe that there's a lot of greed in the world? There's not enough abundance thinking out there in the world today. And I'm finding that, for me, just being thankful for the little things that I already have and appreciation is so much better, because not dwelling on, you know, materialistic items, I just feel that I've opened up more in my life now. And I do believe that the world, I guess the world needs more gratitude in our life. That we need more abundance thinking, we need more prosperity. And I say this because I notice the Western world these days is, the highest we have in the Western world right now, the highest rate of depression, anxiety, suicide, and mental health problems than ever before. And partly due to technology, for starters, is causing this. Social media definitely is causing mental health problems out there. You know that. So it goes, as things open up for me and opportunities arise for me in my life now and my lifetime. Like today, I went for a great hike outdoors. I just got out in nature, and I really felt great to, just keep on walking and persisting, and it was just nice to just go for a walk by a lake. And just actually, when you listen to birds and you hear birds chirping as well, that's the best. When you hear birds in nature, or when you get up first thing in the morning and you hear birds with a high vibration for your life as well, start your day. And that to me is amazing, just to be able to, I'd say, switch off as much as I can. And, having the gratitude as well, like For instance, I was able to go and have a nice Subway sandwich. I was able to eat some nice jalapenos. I was able to have food. I was able to have a nice water, a bit of Powerade today, come home and deciding to learn a new skill. I'm actually learning to solve a Rubik's Cube. So I'm always lifelong learning as well, and actually I've started relearning my basic mathematics, the stuff that I missed out in school just for fun. Because I think as a content creator too, you've got to learn to switch off, and we've got to learn to just put it down and let it be as well. And these are the basically the choices that we have to make, as content creators right now. And I guess that we've got to find that, the right pathway for your well-being and your mental health is what comes first in this nation. It's like people are complaining about the current situation politically, economically, spiritually, emotionally. I think people have, lost a lot of, faith in themselves. They have lost a lot of, faith in their well-being, in their mental health at the same time. And so that's what's going on with people. Psychologically, we are not there anymore in the world, in the Western world now. It's like I feel that the more we, you know, keep on dwelling on bad shit, or what happened in the past, the better it is. I used to have a problem myself where, I used to dwell on the past quite a fair bit. I should have done that. I should have done that. What happened? Why didn't I do that? The past is the past. And I guess it's time to basically, move on, I think. And it's all about the type of information that we put into our heads today as well, because there's so much, junk out there on the market where we think that what is going to happen to us. It's like Facebook now asking people if they want to verify that they're a true owner who they say they are, people. It's like, well, how how is this? how is this right? That they want to get your personal information, your driver's license, or however much, you know, you have in general, and willing to control you in life today. And I'm thinking, that is just ridiculous. That is really ridiculous. That, that a technology company like this wants to overrule the whole wide world with Mark Zuckerberg because he's trying to copy Twitter's verification system as well. Where is the gratitude and abundance here with technology companies? Why the inflation problem, and of course, with this inflation problem, that investors, well, they've lost a lot of money with Facebook if they're investing in Facebook. I certainly wouldn't even bother with them anymore. It's gotten to the point where I think now it's either, well, you just only use it for your business account and that's it, and just don't bother. That's up to you. I'm not telling people to quit it, but I've certainly went to other social media platforms now that I'm just sick and tired, honestly, that the control that these tech corporations want to have over you and your spiritual life. It's like, what more do they want from you? Do they want your soul? And do they want to get involved inside your mind with your consciousness? It seems to me that's like the money's not enough for Facebook. What they want to get in this? Mark Zuckerberg wants to be in this whole metaverse, live a life in this augmented reality world. I'm some kind of, look at me, I want to rule the world. I mean, this is bullshit, honestly. And Facebook can go fuck themselves. I say that because I just want to stand up for people, and I want to know if anyone is listening and you know wants to come on stage and let me know their true thoughts on gratitude during the inflation pandemic as well, and how psychology has impacted us. I think psychologically too. You got to have a strong mind. I think with a strong mind now, because if you have a strong mind, people can't break you down because these tech corporations will use all the fear and intimidation tactics to try and break you down psychologically. But you know what? At the end of the day, when you don't give in to their shit, you stand up for your rights against them, and you believe in yourself. I'm talking for the whole world here. I'm standing up for the world right now. And I hope that, you know, we all stand up to Facebook and TikTok and say, hey, enough is enough. I'm sick of it. there's no forgiveness with these companies anymore. I know Elon Musk purchased Twitter, and that was great. Twitter seems to be better now, but yeah, where is the gratitude with these tech companies? It's like Dr. Phil has decided to finally retire from the show. I think it's been like 25 years, Dr. Phil. That's a long time, and he was talking about cancel culture, quite a fair bit. And for me, the Secret movie by Rhonda Byrne didn't tell us a lot of things about how the world really is. It missed out a lot of hidden information that it just made it. The trouble with the movie The Secret, if you've ever watched it, go ahead and watch it. Bob Proctor's in it. I think Joe Vitale's in it. Rhonda Byrne's in it. And she wrote a book, The Secret. It's a good book. I've got it, but it just made it out to be like almost too good to be true without putting the work in and without. Yes, I certainly believe in these laws of the universe, and I think too that we definitely got to put the work in. But number one key is gratitude. I don't think The Secret was explained properly. Quite open about this too. It wasn't explained properly as soon as I started researching other teachers out there like Wayne Dyer, Louise Hay is one. You can listen to Tony Robbins, Deepak Chopra. Basically they all say the same thing in a different way. Especially Wayne Dyer and Louise Hay are my two favorite. They've passed away, but yeah, and you can listen to Napoleon Hill. Uh, it's just interesting how the world works because I think the world needs more gratitude. I think just to be grateful that yes, they are putting the prices up with the inflation issues going on with food, gas, your basic living expenses too. But Rhonda Byrne, what I do agree with, she did say just be thankful that you have utilities because there are people out there that are worse off than you. And, gratitude was something that was never taught to me in public school, never taught that ever. Matter of fact, I was always told I was going to be a nobody. Uh, and when you hear about our school system in Australia teaching about gender equality, transgender rights, and that's what they're teaching the kids. When I was going to school, we never learnt our times tables and basic mathematical uh, foundations properly. They stopped doing that. I think it was, the old days, that's something you would do every morning. You would just drill your times tables, especially the times tables. So the point I'm trying to make now is I believe our education system needs change. I think it's so left wing. It was even left wing when I was in the school system. I think the way I don't know. I could, you know, I just appreciate that I'm on a different path now with life. I think now for me, it's all about moving ahead. I think it's all about finding spiritual practice. and knowing that what you are going to do at the end of the day is bring joy in your life. But The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, it is quite interesting about how your thoughts, you know, become your life. And, it's true. It's absolutely true. I don't know why this is not taught in school or to our kids, but yeah, the energy forces of the universe is a powerful entity that science could try and deny it and deny it and deny it, like Steve Hawking for years denied in God or whoever and said it was all a big bang, and Richard Dawkins as well deny it. Sooner or later, the universe is very powerful and it does listen to what we do. So if we're constantly putting ourselves down and being negative with self-esteem. I've had the same problems. Look, I do have my moments that there are days that I feel like shit, but I just want to bounce back and move ahead, and make sure that I am the safe person. I am the winner and be a winner. So you know when you hear that you're getting rejection. This is why I recommend people to, listen to my audio course on my YouTube channel about how to deal with rejection as a musician and content creator, because it will help you keep on going despite being rejected. If a publisher has rejected you, or for my instance, a royalty-free library rejected me, I have learned to the point where I build a thick skin to the rejection and I don't let it get to me and put me down, because if I did that, sadly, that's what I was attracting, was just more negativity. I think too that something that took me 2, 3 years to realize, hey, this is true. No, yet we cannot see electricity. We cannot see the mind. We cannot see the soul of the body, the aura of the body, but it's real. So the energy that you put out will come back to you. But yeah, it's all about just being thankful for what you already have. Yeah, it's gratitude. You can do gratitude challenges out there. You might get up in the morning. You might write 3 things that you're already thankful for before you go into bed. 3 things that uh, you are thankful for, what you want. And like it could be things like for a bed to sleep in, the cup of coffee I'm able to drink in the morning, being able to have an iPhone or a phone, being able to have internet. And yeah, you just notice that you just start to feel better within yourself as well. And you will, trust me on this, you will start to feel better within yourself. You know, it's it's been one of those journeys for me in order for self growth at the moment. I think that the more that you just keep on overthinking to the point, well, overthinking is only going to hurt you more. I just think letting things go, letting it go, and yeah, let the universe decide on what it is that you want in your life, I guess, at the end of the day. Look back, it's 2023. Tomorrow, as I'm recording this, by the way, I know my US audience are a day behind, but right now I'm in my bed and got the lights off. I thought I'll do a late night show at the moment because a late night radio show is really good. I haven't done a late night radio show for maybe a couple of weeks, and I just thought I'll hop on Wisdom and share my knowledge and inspiration. It's 10:52 p.m. as I've started, as I've gotten on here now, and yeah, it's all about living your life to the best of your abilities as well. No matter how much obstacles you have, you can overcome those obstacles to the point where no amount of negative energy is going to stop you from accomplishment. You with me? No amount of negative energy is going to stop you from accomplishments. Okay? I think that getting up and, being able to exercise as much as we can, whether that's getting out in nature, whether that's, you know, looking to, learn a new skill. I think it's great. I think, just be happy within yourself and know that yeah, look for other resources beside The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. There's many other great books out there, and it's all about going into it with an open mind. An open mind is what will help you with your life and your day at the same time, is having an open mind, body, and soul. That is why exercise is crucial. Exercise is key. You want to be, celebrating all those little achievements as much as you can, because all social media has been, I know as content creators we need it, but I think now I'm just cutting back my time on it, and yeah, I just feel more clear headed, I think. And it's like, psychologically, Netflix and Facebook, hire psychologists to be able to get its users to be hooked, is what it does. It gets its users to be hooked. For me, I think that yeah, you've got to just appreciate what you already have. There was another left-wing social media platform called Mastodon that I was using, and they kicked me off because you know, false accusations of spam, which was just ridiculous. And yet it was all right for someone on there to go and tell me off and stir up trouble, and it was all right for trolls to be on there, and yet you put an appeal in it and it just didn't work, so I just thought they can just get fucked. Because I'm happy where they are. And you know what? Thank you for kicking me off, because you only made me a better person at the end of the day. I don't care anymore. And so that's how it works, I guess. Uh the iOS stores as well, the Apple store, you know, I think it's just all about control. It's all it is, control. And they want to control you, they want to censor you, they want to cancel you out, they don't want to hear what you have to offer spiritually as well. And what is next? I don't know. But yeah, just find your voice to speak up. And know that life is a challenge at the end of the day. And for me, it is all about persistence, dedication, and success. Persistence, dedication, and success at the end of the day is what I believe in. So that's how it works as well. It's one of those issues where we just have to stand up for our rights, no matter how much inflation is out there at the moment. It is all about standing up for your rights in order to grow your life as well. All right, the weather right now is 22.4 degrees Celsius, feels like 24.2 degrees Celsius, minimum of 18 degrees Celsius, top 29 degrees Celsius for tomorrow. 0 to 1 millimeter of rain, partly cloudy, northeasterly 6 kilometers an hour wind, 6 kilometers an hour gust, 77% humidity, 0 millimeter rain since 9 a.m. Rain 75%, high chance of no rain, 50% medium chance of no rain, 25% low chance of at least 1 millimeter of rain. Sydney, Australia, partly cloudy, winds east to north easterly 15 to 20 kilometers an hour, becoming light in the late evening. Sun, moon, and UV index 6:44 a.m. today. Today was the sunrise, 7:37 p.m. sunset. Waxing gibbous moon phase. Full moon is going to be on the 7th of March. A full moon. Yay! Full moon. Uh, Tomorrow, sunny, partly cloudy, low of 18 degrees Celsius, top of 29 degrees Celsius. Thursday, Sunny with showers predicted, a low of 18 degrees Celsius, top of 27 degrees Celsius. Friday, sunny with showers predicted, a low of 17 degrees Celsius, top of 25 degrees Celsius. Saturday, sunny with showers predicted, a low of 17 degrees Celsius, top of 28 degrees Celsius. Sunday, sunny, low of 16 degrees Celsius, top of 31 degrees Celsius. Monday, sunny, partly cloudy, low of 16 degrees Celsius, top of 36 degrees Celsius. Tuesday, sunny, partly cloudy, a low of 17 degrees Celsius, and a top of 36 degrees Celsius for the max. Yeah, the weather's changing, of course. Weathers will always be changing. For me, it's all about, staying true and honest to yourself and being honest as much as you can. Because the more we are honest with ourselves, the better that you become. And you will keep on living life to the best that you can be as well. So just keep on doing that. Keep on knowing that, just because there is bad government out there, election fraud out there, you think to yourself that it can't stop you from growing. It can't stop you from seeking the truth, living the truth, knowing the truth, and searching for the truth as well. And so that's how it is. That's what life is. Life is always a game of chess. Life will always teach you the hard way. Sometimes we have to learn the hard way in order to grow ourselves and in order to be the one and only way to live despite having problems with rejection. Whether that is rejection in business, whether that's rejection in your relationship, your love life, whether that's rejection in, other things, creative, content creator. It is all about building the thick skin to grow yourself and grow your life. You with me? To grow yourself and to grow your life as well. And this is what I do here on the Stephen Shields radio show. I am all about knowing the ways that I can be the best version of me that I can be. And so can you. And I can see we've got a guest waiting. Let's see. Hello.
Hi, Stephen. How are you?
Good, Elizabeth. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I've been here listening from the beginning and hesitated to come on because I didn't A, finish my coffee, B, my my 4 month old puppy is making a lot of noise, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I'll be able to. But I've been listening. There's a lot, to what you're saying. So I'm just going to touch on the parts I know
Hmm.
of and speak. And really, it's on the mental health side, and just really so that
Hmm.
I'm going to keep it kind of just to myself because I don't want to speak for anyone else because, it's every person that has something with their mental health, they're experiencing it in a different way. But
Hmm.
some of the things you said, and as far as practicing gratitude, I 100% agree.
Hmm.
Every morning, also having a spiritual routine. So every morning I have my spiritual routine, and I focus on the things that I am grateful for. But I think what happens, because I've
Hmm.
been doing this for a while, there's some days where when I feel like I'm the most depressed, it's
Hmm.
hard to shake. It's hard to shake that depressive state.
Hmm.
And then some days are easier. And, but for right now, for at least, maybe the last 2 weeks here, I've been having a really hard time with my mental health.
Yeah.
And I've been everything. I eat healthy. I am active. I have two emotional support animals. My son is homeschooled, so I get to spend a lot of time with him. Um, so I feel like I know about The Secret.
Hmm. Yes.
um, I would say that I am a fan of The Secret. My only thing is that when I remember watching it a long time ago when it first came out, and at that time I
Mm.
was living in a domestic violence shelter. So when I saw The Secret, I was like, "Oh, thank goodness, there's something.
Mhm.
I can fix this. I can control this. With my thoughts." But I don't think the way that The Secret was done. This kind of dark, like we discovered this new thing. I don't think it taught a lot about how our thoughts are so important. They kind of made it seem like, wish it and it could be there, like, rubbing the genie kind of thing. And it really does take more than that. And so when I think about all that and all the work I've been doing on myself to have this inner peace and build my relationship with my creator and all of that, I think for me, what I'm realizing speaking to you, it just comes to I still feel alone. Yes,
Mm.
I'm doing all of that work. And yes, there are amazing things. There are things I've manifested. Absolutely. There are awesome days. But then there's days like this, where now going on 2 weeks, where even though I know all of these things, my brain just still feels kind of cloudy every morning. And I think it comes down to feeling alone, feeling like you have no one that can understand
Mm.
what it's like to have to be going through, bipolar, manic episodes, to
Mhm.
be, some days your mental health is just really, really bad. And I think
Mm.
for me, it would be nice to just be able to speak to someone about that. And the
Mm.
friends I do have, because they're also going through their mental health challenges, some days you call them and they're in the middle of theirs. So you could hear it, so you don't
Mhm.
want to be like, wait, what about me? My mental, you could tell they need it. They need the love. They need the comfort. And so I think I just want to add to what you're saying. If you're having mental health challenges and along with inflation, gas prices being higher, food being higher, just paying your rent, everything is just so expensive. um,
Mhm.
it's important just to find that support group, put together your group of people, where you feel like you can speak and be yourself. A lot with what I do, as far as social media, because you also talked about social media.
Yes. Yes.
I I use social media just for work. Um,
Mhm.
it gives me an opportunity on days when I feel like this. Excuse me. On days when I feel like this, I try to muster up the courage to explain what it feels like to be kind of in this kind of brain funk. I don't know how else to describe it. Kind of feeling disoriented. I try my best to go online and show what it feels like, in the middle of a panic attack. Um, and I don't feel that way right now, and I think that's due to you, because I feel like when I woke up, I said, these are the things I'm grateful for. And I'm so thankful that I'm opening my eyes and that I'm taking this breath. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but so I want to say thank you, because I do think after I said all of that and I grabbed my cup of coffee, I think it was going to be one of those days where I felt alone. But,
Mm-hmm.
I turned on wisdom and I heard you, and I thought, okay, I'm not the only one that's feeling like social media is doing this kind of thing, or,
Mm-hmm.
you know, um, it helps, but I could tell you, I still feel, that's why I said I just wanted to come up and just say, if you're feeling like you are grateful for things that you do have, and you are getting the exercise, and you are eating the right foods, and you still feel this way that you really can't explain. I don't know how to explain it except for loneliness. Loneliness, feeling like no one else can relate to what you're going through. It's really important to put together a team of people that will just let you be, let you feel what you're feeling, but be there just to kind of provide a safe space for you. And some people don't have that. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of people that don't have that. I have a lot of friends, but I still feel very alone.
Mm-hmm.
My
Yeah.
family doesn't necessarily understand what it's like to have just this feeling of sadness, when you don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be sad, when you realize, when there are things you're grateful for, but you still feel really sad. And so the only thing I could tell myself in those times when I know I'm doing the work is, okay, well, today I just feel sad. Allow myself I just feel sad. It's okay to cry. I think
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when we feel grateful and things don't come, the day ends with you still kind of feeling like you woke up feeling the same as, you left the day. You feel like, oh, what am I doing wrong? Um, just be patient, and
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing you're doing wrong. As long as you know you're feeling grateful for the things that you have. I think it's just loneliness. I think we want people to just understand. We want to be heard. And that's what I use my social media for. It used to be that I post weekly, twice a week, or twice a day, even every day, Monday through Friday. It was just too much. And when I go back and look at that content, I'm like, I don't know if I'm speaking my authentic truth. So now when I post, it takes a lot of courage just to be like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
this is how I feel. This is what my mind is going through. And I do it for a purpose of people who don't have anxiety, depression, or any mental health. I want them to see what it's like and understand for someone to be expressing themselves. And I want for the people that does know what it's like, I just want them to know they're not alone. So I find that I'm doing it less, but when I'm doing it now, it feels like I'm speaking from a more authentic place. But I just want people to find their people, find a support group. And even if it's not, they're not right there with you, find someone that you could connect with and have a Zoom session with.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to on the phone. Don't isolate yourself. The isolation part will be very dangerous. So if we want to change our vibration, yeah, don't isolate. um, that's the biggest part. Speak to someone, um, but also speak to someone that has the mental capacity to take it on, so that you don't make their mental health worse. i,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, that's all I have.
Come back on stage. That was really good. Love to hear more about what you have to offer, wisdomers, Elizabeth, because that was amazing and inspiring. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, you got to have community these days. I think the more community we have, the better it is.
Yes. I mean, absolutely, but it's hard to find that community. I've been dealing with this for a long time. I can say
Mm,
that here on Wisdom, it has helped a lot. Um, I think I've only been on here for maybe now going on 4 months,
mm-hmm,
and it has helped a lot as far as me finding my voice and being more courageous, because you hear people at different vibrations. You know, you'll swipe through and sometimes you'll hear someone that is on a high vibration, and they're giving you so many gems, and you're just
mm,
so thankful. But then you'll switch, you'll swipe left or right, and you'll hear someone that clearly is, they're in it, they're upset, they're, you know,
mm,
screaming, and you just feel for them because you know what that's like too. So I heard you say, what I can offer the wisdom community. I don't know
mm-hmm,
half the time what I'm offering. All I can be
mm-hmm,
is myself. And that's what I'm really longing for, is just to use my voice to just be my authentic self. For the first time, like since I've joined
mm-hmm.
wisdom, really, I feel like I've been being my authentic self. And it took a long time. So, really, in the last month or two, have I started just speaking up more, because it was hard at first. I didn't want to hit that
Mm,
plus sign. It was very difficult because I thought, what could I say? I'm going to sound like insane. My thoughts are going to be all over the place. Well, now I'm sure my thoughts are all over the place. It's not that I don't care. I just can't. I
mm,
feel like I'm just being me. And I hope that it just resonates with someone, but I don't know who that someone will be.
mm,
But it makes me feel better to know that at least I am just doing the best that I can. And so that's why I mentioned the isolation part.
yes, yes.
You know, this app is giving us all an opportunity. It's changing the way we can express ourselves. And we see that with the diversity of content that we have on Wisdom.
Mm-hmm,
So if we are, I'm grateful for the app. And so therefore, I want to use it in a way that I can give back to the community in some way, in a positive way. So that's why I said, when you're picking your people, your group of people that you can talk to, make sure, you're allowing space for them to feel the way they do, and that everyone, whoever you speak to, that it's a balanced relationship. Because yeah, there's some days where I want people to talk to me, but I'm having a hard time myself.
mm,
And so you just want to make sure you have enough people you can speak to, because it does feel lonely. And yes, I think meditation has helped a lot. Meditation, I listen to certain music that have certain, and I don't know a lot about this, but have certain binary beats that's
mm,
supposed to help with different parts of the body, like to help with the brain, to help with your solar plexus. I'm getting a little bit into understanding about how chakras work. And so I'm new to that, but that has been a game changer for me. So
yeah,
just,
life is all about learning. I'm deciding to learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube lately. It's actually quite fascinating. I thought I want to try something different. So yeah, I believe in lifelong learning as
yeah,
much as I can.
that sounds fun. Every time I try to pick that up, you reminded me I need to try that again. I
Yeah.
Something I pick up and then I put it down. But it's
Mm,
a Rubik's Cube, something that can help you be present. That's what it
mm,
is. It's about being present. We have to remember we don't want to be going to bed, feeling depressed and then waking up and picking that back up again. So after you wake up and you have your spiritual connection and you are listing off the things you're grateful for, I think the best way to stay aligned and stay in that high vibration period is to remember to be present. Because what will happen is our brain will start thinking about these things for like beyond what is happening in the present moment. So, before you've even finished your cup of coffee, you've already thought about 10, 12, 15 things you got to do, and the sun's not even up yet. Remembering to come
Mm,
back to that present moment. So, something like a Rubik's Cube is perfect. Especially, I don't, like I said, we're all in different places in our mental health. For me, having a routine of remembering to brush my teeth. I know that sounds like, of course, we should all brush our teeth, but sometimes you're so depressed, it's hard to brush your teeth. Um,
mm,
it is. It is so difficult to brush your teeth. I don't know why. You just don't want to do anything. It feels so hard. But if you can get yourself in a habit, creating these routines of, I'm going to brush my teeth because I deserve to feel like I feel clean, and brushing your teeth and being grateful to have that water to brush your teeth, taking a shower, even if it's 2 minutes just to, whatever, get the important parts, being grateful that you're able to do that. When you're really depressed, I think it comes down to those simple things within your control of what you can do. I think those are huge. Like right now, I'm waiting for my money to come in because the way I get paid, my clients pay, I either get paid every 90 days or every month. It just depends. And so, because when you're an entrepreneur,
mm.
the money comes in differently from a 9 to 5. You get your money differently based on how you run your business. And so this morning I wake up thinking, did it hit my account yet? No, no. So so what do you do in those cases? For me today, I still have to work today. So I'm going to be grateful. I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to go out and go for a walk. I'm fortunate. I live in a really nice apartment complex neighborhood that has this nice gym and has like a dog park. And so you have to, but if you don't have those things, what can you do? Get outside, even if it's cold, bundle up, just go out there, even if it's for a few minutes and look, just make sure, appreciate the ground that you're walking on. And, reach out to a friend when it feels the darkest.
Mm, exactly.
That's all
That's
you can.
interesting. You're an entrepreneur, Elizabeth. I started my journey as an entrepreneur. Yeah, it's interesting in the beginning, but it'll work out better for the long term. I always look at things as a long-term solution, not a short-term thing. How's your journey been?
It's getting better. At the
Uh-huh.
beginning, of course, at the beginning, it was hard for me to even call myself a coach. And then it got hard to even admit that I was an entrepreneur. I think it was someone
Mm,
said it in passing, and I was like, what? That's what I am? I never would consider that. Okay. And then one day, someone referred to me. This is quite recently. I think it was last week. Someone said, yeah, I know you're really busy as a small business owner. And I thought, what? That's
mm,
what I am. So, whatever you call yourself, I think at the beginning it's really hard. Just for me, it was because I underpriced everything. At first, I was just working for free. I
mm-hmm,
think a lot of it had to do with confidence. So now I think because I've let go of that inner talk, I don't care. And I know this sounds mean, but I don't mean it the way it sounds, but I cannot care about the expectations of others. I had to let
mm,
go of the expectations that other people had on me. And I had to be like, I'm
exactly.
just going to do what I know my intentions are good. I know what my intentions are. So I had to like let go of that. My time is going to
Yeah.
be.
Come back on stage as well. This is awesome. And it's great to chat about entrepreneurship as well during 2023, and always looking for, people to make change in the worldwide economy because, you know, we are all told to go and be an employee and get a 9 to 5 job. Yeah, there's a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. It's one of the entrepreneur books I've read, but EBSI, it's quite interesting. Employee, small business owner, then you've got investment, investing in properties and all that. So in 10 years' time, Elizabeth, where do you see yourself in your company?
Wow. In 10 years time, I'm happy. I'm staying
Hmm.
in the present moment.
Hmm.
I have to stay in this present moment. 10 years time, I mean, yes, I want to still be around in 10 years time.
Hmm.
I feel like at this point anything could happen. I think that the clients that I've gotten now, I honestly feel like it's because I do feel
Hmm.
like I manifested them. I
Hmm.
I started getting very clear about what I was asking for in my prayers. I started getting very specific on the type of client because at the beginning I wasn't getting my client, the
Hmm.
one that lined up with what I can offer, with what skills I have. So at the beginning I wasn't getting that. So I got very specific. So I think there's a lot of room for me. I feel like I'm an influencer. I told you people said, oh, you're an entrepreneur, you're a small business owner. I feel like I'm an influencer with only 1,200 followers, and that's fine. you know, and,
That's pretty
and most
good.
of those 1,200 followers, I'm pretty sure are bots. And,
Yeah,
so I
you've
think
got more than me. Good on you.
I guess it depends on which platform you go to. But
Instagram, yeah.
yeah, Instagram, oh, I only have probably 700.
Hmm.
And most of them, but I do think a lot of them are real. I don't know. Again,
Hmm.
I can just focus on what I'm doing in the present moment
Hmm.
and just keep on with the intention of me. I just want to hug everyone that has this mental health challenge, because I think that it's really easy to say, oh, just think positive. And that's my issue with The Secret. They made it seem like it was it was more attainable than it was. Like I said, because at that time I lived in a domestic violence shelter. So there is no, I did the vision board. I wrote the check. I wrote a check with the amount I would like to see. But I guess I just didn't know a lot about energy at that time. So
Hmm.
I think it's a good starting place, but it really is, they touched the surface on it. They kind of scratched the surface a little bit about how your thoughts can control the outcome of a situation. But I think it is more than that. I do think working on the energy, and the only thing that has helped me with like being in the right energy place is meditation. And there's some days I have to meditate like 3 times because even after I've meditated, I still have like this negative feeling. I was walking around with this feeling of resentment. I was resenting some of my friends that are even in my church community because they had a lot of judgment on. I had a panic attack in like 2 weeks ago at church, and there was a lot of judgment from that. People even thought I was drunk, and it really hurt me. It really hurt my feelings, and I haven't been back up there since then.
Oh, God. And
Yeah,
they
it was
did that to
horrible.
you? Did you
Well,
go and report it and let them in?
no, no, I understand because I understand that I'm at this place where I understand that when I call it acting out mentally. I have
Mhm.
to just laugh at it. I'm like, oh, I got caught acting mental, or my mental health showed in public, no, a lot of, they won't understand unless you're actually going through it. I've just learned not to take that on. Yes, it was hurtful. And I was mad because someone went to my son, and my son is 16, and they asked him if I was drunk. If you thought I was drunk, you should have asked me. Don't go to my son because, of course,
Mm.
as a teenager, he's going to get embarrassed about everything I do as his mother. So don't ask him. He's
Mm.
already embarrassed that his mom, he didn't understand what was going on either. Um, but I knew what was going on. So I have taken it upon myself. I just can't, there's some things I just can't worry about. I haven't been back. And the only reason I have not been back is because I want to make sure the resentment part, the anger part is gone so that I don't go up there and, say something rude. I want to make I want to make sure
Mhm.
I'm at peace. I've forgiven them and I'm at peace. And I also have to understand that when things get told to me, it may not be the truth. It may not be what one person said. So I think that's, if I'm doing the work, I, that's where I feel like I have control over my emotions more, because the old me would have probably gone off, but I could tell I'm stronger now because there are things I can let go. I can forgive quicker. And
Yeah,
I
exactly.
and I know myself, I know that it's taken some time for this resentment part to go away. So I'm doing what I can to love myself through it. But so many of us don't have anyone to talk things out through. And I
I
often
know.
feel like that.
Yeah, I'm with you, especially on churches these days. I stopped going to church years ago because I had issues with, I think it was the Anglican Church. I just got fed up with it. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't understand. I just don't understand it.
Well, with the church situation, what I find, it's about me and my relationship with God. It has nothing to do with them.
Hmm.
So if I think about it that way, and I'm like, this is between me and you, God. It's you and me. And if anything, it's an opportunity, because of all that gossip or whatever was said. It's an opportunity for me to just build further on my relationship with God, which again has nothing to do with them. So I am not going to let them interfere with, keeping me out of the church. But there's also nothing wrong with me, attending online, because at my church, you do have the option to attend via Zoom if you can't come in. So that's what
Mm.
I've been doing. I've been attending via Zoom because I just want to make sure I'm in a good headspace. And I think when you have mental health, I think it's important to get as much information as possible, because even though we did not ask for this, we have a responsibility. We're left with the responsibility to learn how to take care of ourselves. So that's what I'm doing. By me staying away, that's me taking care of myself, me guarding my peace.
Exactly.
And so you have to do what feels right. But I know that still doesn't help, because there's still probably someone out there that's like, yeah, I hear you, Elizabeth. Yeah, spiritual routine, gratitude, but
Mm.
still feels crappy. I still feel alone. I just want to say, I know, person, I know, me too, but we can't give
Mm.
up. We can't give up. Take it step by step. What is it that you
E-
can do for yourself that is so simple
Exactly.
and cost a lot? What can you do? Nature is free. Go.
Hmm.
You were saying, go outside for a walk. Pay attention to the little ants, how hard they're working. Pay, the birds, as you mentioned earlier about the birds.
Hmm. Hmm.
Pay attention to those things. It's crucial. And know that you're not alone.
Of course it is. And yeah, that's been my experience. Because I used to take things for granted back in my younger life as well. I'd never appreciated things, and I used to be too hard on myself. And going to see a lot of psychologists who have PhDs, well-educated people, was only just confusing the crap out of me, and I'd still be feeling terrible. Come back on stage as well, because this is a great conversation with you. But people like Dr. Phil as well. Used to watch quite a fair bit of Dr. Phil, but a lot of it was controversial, and I don't understand psychology as well. And yet they're very well educated people, but maybe it just wasn't aligning up with my energy for some reason till I started to, have self-esteem, because self-esteem is earned within yourself, I guess. And,
Um, yeah, I think I'm trying to think it's hard because I think about my doctor, my psychiatrist, and
hmm
it's it's getting to the point where I'm almost afraid to tell her things, and it shouldn't be like that. So
mm
I should not be afraid, to be honest with my
mm
doctor. But it's sometimes I go to her and I'll, like 2 months ago, or no, 4 months ago, because it was right when I joined Wisdom, she
mm
put me on bed rest because she said I was having manic episodes. And that was because I went to her and told her that sometimes it's hard for me to sleep. I was doing this thing where I couldn't sleep. I was so anxious. And so I would
mm.
go on these walks. And sometimes I would walk from 3 in the morning to like 6 in the morning. I would just be walking everywhere. And
Shit.
because I could not
Wow.
sleep. And so she was like, that is very dangerous. We want to hold you for observation. And I'm like, what? Like,
Mm,
because I've gone on some walks. She's like, because it's almost like you're suicidal, but you're not being you're not doing it towards yourself, but you're putting yourself in the position where someone else can harm you, which I
uh-huh,
found was very interesting. But I had gone through, I know, like everything I had gone through, to me, it made complete sense that I
uh-huh,
would, be anxious. There was a lot that happened. And my son had just come back home. And so there was just a lot going on. So I didn't accept that from her. I was like, she put me on a new medication. I tried it for 2 days. It had me um, it had me wanting to chop off my legs. I felt even more insane with the
uh-huh,
medication. They gave me this medication that you dissolve under your tongue. So therefore, because it dissolves under your tongue, it gets into your bloodstream even faster. And once it kicks in, it feels like it sucks you down this black hole and everything becomes dark. And it was awful. Like, and that whole night I could not sleep. Talk about, like, my legs were, I could not control my legs. And that's a real medical something, like a medication that can give you restless leg syndrome. And the whole night, I just wanted to feel, I could picture it even, like picture a chainsaw and me just wanting to cut off my legs. The
mm,
medication she gave me made me feel like worse than when I went in there. So I told
oh
her,
no.
I said, I will not take this medication. Call me whatever. I will not take this medication again. So that's where we have to really advocate for ourselves. We have to speak up. We can't be taking these drugs. And so I'm supposed to see her coming up sometime soon. What am I going to go in there and tell her about, like, feeling like there's this fog in my head? I'm going to go in there and say that. What is she going to try to put me on? Um, so it's kind of scary. That's why we have to find other ways, natural ways to take care of ourselves. That's all
Yeah,
I don't know if
exactly.
I'm off topic. I'm sorry. Like I said, I can only relate it to what I'm going through because I don't know what
Mm,
everyone else's mental health, where they are, in their mental health. Because we're not all the same. We all have different experiences and we all live in different life circumstances. I can easily say, go outside and enjoy nature. But what if they're outside, they don't feel safe in their outside environment.
mm,
Before living where I do now, I could say going outside was not an option for me. I hated going outside. So I didn't feel safe there. So you have to, it does take some work. It does take some work. I'm not going to say that it feels easy most of the time. And I know that may sound negative, but it doesn't feel easy most of the time. That's why it's very important to have your routine, meditating, prayer. You have to do the work. You have to do the research. If looking at the secret helps you, then do that. I think
mm,
personal wisdom is a great place to go to practice not being judgmental. Because
mm,
sometimes
mm,
that's what helped me realize I was being judgmental. I would come across some people that were in this very low vibration. They were angry and they're screaming and they're cursing, and I just want to like come up there and say, hey, let's breathe for a minute. But I feel like I was afraid to because I'm like, man, this person's going to curse me.
exactly.
Like come up there and be like, hey. But
Yeah,
you
I
just need
mean,
to identify when you hear it with someone else. That's why I like wisdom. Sometimes someone is mirroring or saying something exactly like what you want to do, but you don't want
mm,
to go there. There are many times I just want to scream and be like, I hate this.
mm.
But you can't, you see what happens when you do that. I think it only makes things worse.
Yeah, but that's just been my experience with psychologists. Like, I don't know, maybe they just didn't understand me, where I was coming from, or how I felt until self-esteem was earned within myself, I guess. And again, gratitude. I was never told to have gratitude. I think it was one session I was introduced to meditation, and my very first app was the Headspace app. But even then, I was going through my undergraduate degree. I was in my, I think, fourth year, and depression was setting in, and just lacked motivation, I guess. Just felt, like, when you just, I don't know, you just feel like doing nothing, or you just miserable. That's how I felt. Don't know why. But
Yeah.
now I just feel better doing what I do as a content creator.
Well, we have to remember too that the pandemic did not help matters. So if you already
Mm,
had anxiety or some kind of mental health, and even let's say you didn't, there are so many people now that are still, they never had anxiety, and now they do. The
mm,
pandemic did not help matters. And it's I know for a fact, just because of, like, my phone is ringing more now than before. And
mm,
I still feel like we're going through the pandemic, because we're going through the aftermath of it all. Yes, cases aren't as high, but there are still
mm,
people recovering from the pandemic. There are people that caught COVID that still don't have all of their senses back, all their sense of taste,
mm,
smell back. I'm very fortunate. I caught COVID once and I just had a fever and I just slept a lot, but I could still
mm.
eat, I could still taste and smell. But as far as my anxiety goes, yeah, it impacted me
Of
incredibly.
course.
Um,
I copped it quite bad over Christmas, had every symptom. And yeah, it's the mental health, because just restlessness and being agitated, having to stay home, puts threw me off all my routine.
yeah. No, I know that feeling. When I feel that way, I'm, what has helped me is I don't sleep in, I, when I feel that way, I move from my bedroom into the living room. Now that's
Hmm.
just me. move into the bedroom. I have a pull-out couch in my living room. And I did this a few months ago, so it worked for me. It was the first time I ever slept on that pull-out couch, and it sucks. It's not comfortable. I've
Mhm.
I never slept on it before, but I moved. Sometimes it helps just to change up your routine within your home. I have found works for me. So I'll not sleep in my room. I'll sleep in the living room because it just changes things up. So when you feel like you're just in that dark place and it's hard to get out of bed, instead of thinking about what it would be like to get out of bed, because that's what keeps us in bed. It's the thought of getting out of bed. There's always a thought. That's why it's important to recognize each thought. There's always a thought that comes first before you actually feel the feeling. And that feeling,
Yeah, our thoughts do create our reality as well, and how we can determine our thoughts and our pathways for future success as well in where you want to be. But that's interesting what you were saying. Yeah, exactly. COVID-19 has created a mental health epidemic.
it really has. And in a way, I do see people trying to understand more. I do
Mm,
see people, I don't know. Yeah, I do. I hear people talking about it more, but I'm not sure what's really being done. Like I said,
mm,
I've been on this journey for a long time since my first diagnosis, and I've been on a lot of different medications, and I see the difference in how I feel and my behavior. Um,
mm,
I, it's important if you need to be on medication. I guess it's because I'm not against medication. Um,
mm,
I just think that it's going to take more than just medication alone. That's why I
mm,
said it's important that we do have a responsibility to ourselves, to take care of ourselves, to get information for ourselves, because otherwise, if we do, my biggest thing is the way mental health is portrayed in the news, especially around these violent out. When something big happens, like a shooting or something like that, and then
mm,
it comes out that the person has a mental health challenge. I think more and more people are afraid to talk about their mental health because they feel like they're going to be judged. And you are
mm,
judged. I couldn't even get because I have a record, you know, when you get put on a anxiety medication, that stays in your prescription record for
mm,
5 years.
mhm,
So therefore, when you try to, like, I wanted to get um, what is it called? A life insurance policy. I
mhm,
wanted to get a life insurance policy, and I kept getting denied because
mhm,
of the medication that I was taking, even though I wasn't taking it anymore, but I had taken it in the last 5 years.
mhm,
Um, they pull those records and they deny you certain things. So,
mm,
and that's a really big issue. No matter how responsible you are for your mental health, the fact that you can't even get a life insurance policy, it doesn't even make sense, because we all know if you have a life insurance policy and you do commit suicide, your family doesn't get that anyways.
mhm,
You don't get that money anyways. So it doesn't make sense to me that they would make it difficult when you're being responsible to do all the right things for your family. In my case, I wanted the policy because I was fearful of, what if something happened to me and I'm a single mom? What's going to happen to my son? You
mm,
know, I'm not going to harm myself, but what if something happened to me in this world? And so to me, it's being responsible. That's me just making sure everything is okay, because I do have a child that's under 18. And so
mm,
I had to fight for myself. I had to say all of that to the insurance company, and finally got someone that understood what I was saying. And they really, it took a long time to get approved, but finally
Good
got.
on you.
Yes, but I had to really, and that's when I learned about, well, we see in the past you've taken this medication. What? I've never taken that medication. Yes, the doctor gave it to me. Yes, I filled it.
Mm,
But as soon as I came home and did the research and found out about the side effects, I did not take that medication, which is why the doctor
mm,
then tried to put me on this medication. So you really you have to do your research. It's unfortunate. It's not fair.
mm.
It isn't
I
fair.
know, but I guess life is like that at the end of the day as well. You know, life is not fair. It's a cruel world out there.
Well, I say we have the choice to look at it. I feel like we have the choice to view it how we want. Yes, I woke up and no, my bank account looked the same. But as the
Mm,
sun is coming up in here right now and just speaking to you, I don't know if it's because I got it all off of my chest. I don't know what it was, but I feel hopeful. I feel better.
mm,
I feel hopeful. I will say I did not brush my teeth yesterday. I absolutely did not. But I
uh-huh.
am going to today. Yesterday was a really hard mental health day for me. I did. I felt very alone. Um,
And what time is it where you are, Elizabeth?
it is 6:52 in the morning
Wow.
because I wake up every day at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
I wake up at 5, and like I said, I as soon as I open my eyes, I'm like, God, thank you so much. And then as I'm breathing, I'm like, oh, thank you for this breath. So before my feet
Exactly.
can touch the ground, I'm like already I'm praying everything. And then I get my coffee, I get back into bed and I meditate. And I sometimes turn on wisdom. Sometimes there's a talk I want to hear. This morning it happened to be you. So I was
Uh-huh.
like, let me listen. And I sitting here having my coffee. And so after you and I talk, I'm going to meditate. I'm going to
Awesome.
Yeah, if anyone, I do want to give a shout out to Anthony Thomas
Mhm,
because he made, I don't know if you know him, but he's here on Wisdom. He makes this music that helps with, to go alongside with meditating. He has them
mhm.
for different chakras. At the time, I was working on my throat chakra. And I really think it helped because if anyone spoke to me from at the beginning of when I joined Wisdom to now, I definitely say I found my voice. So it helped me. So I've been listening to that. So if anyone wants to reach out to Anthony, I think he gives out samples or something. His music is very healing. His name is Anthony Thomas, and he's here on Wisdom, and his music has helped me. So that's what I use to meditate. And we just got to be patient with ourselves. It is a new day. Let's be grateful for, well, where you are, it's nighttime. So
About to go to bed.
I was going to say, is it 11:54 your time or midnight your time?
11:54.
Okay. Yes. So I just hope, thank you for having this talk and allowing me to come up so many times. And I hope that you have a good night's rest
Mhm.
and um, think about all the things that you're grateful for before going to bed. And I hope that you have a good morning. Your morning will be my nighttime.
Yeah, well, thanks for being on the show, Elizabeth. It's been a couple of months since I've had a guest. It's just been me talking half the time, so it's always great to have someone come on and makes the time go quicker.
Okay, well, I'm glad that I was able to. And I got to get the puppy out because she's in her kennel. I got to get her out and going. But thank you for holding the space. And I hope that something you and I together have said has encouraged someone. And that's why I
Hmm.
think the app is so amazing. And so thank you. And I am going to go now.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Have a great day.
Yes, you have a good
Bye.
bye.
All right, I'm gonna leave the episode there. That was awesome. Um, Guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the Stephen Shields radio show. This will be up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you subscribe to your podcast. If you've missed the recording or the pre-show as they do the social audio, this is what's great. You can always listen to it. Yeah. Send me any questions here on wisdom you'd like answered. Also, too, feel free to be a guest and join in on the show. And it's always great to have different opinions as well. I wish you all the best. Bye for now.